And you know, I find it very interesting that author and scientist Greg Braden, if some of you have heard of him, he had an experience of witnessing a Native American rainmaker in a drought-ridden part of the southwest of America desert. And he got to see this man do his work to bring forth rain. And he was really expecting there to be some elaborate ritual and dances and singing and all that. And very little happened. He said the man just was very quiet for a while. And then when he came back, like it was done, Mr. Braden asked him, well, did you pray for rain? And the rainmaker said, oh, absolutely not. Praying for rain doesn't do anything. He said, you have to feel the rain and smell it and see what it does for the land. You have to be the rain. And guess what? That night it rained. This isn't rocket science. Think about experiences where you have moved past your fears or sense of insecurity or limitations into a greater experience. If you think back on any of those moments, you felt the greater good that you were trying to move into, and it kept you moving into greater acceptance. It's what helped you to develop the faith that you needed to move into that experience. In the felt reality of the good that you're seeking, you're connecting with that aspect of God's nature that you'll be expressing more fully. Because remember, the greater good that you are wanting to experience already lies within you. That spiritual quality is already there. And as you feel it, you align with it, and it moves you past your limiting beliefs. That's what opens your consciousness to the greater possibility and moves you into that greater faith and acceptance. And when you're staying in that felt reality of the experience, if one of the ways that you're limiting yourself is that you're saying it has to look a certain way and it can't look any other way, the felt experience will help you to see how that's a limiting vision and that there may be this whole other way that you could experience what you're feeling at the center of your being. You know, I recently had the opportunity to have a conversation with someone who, this woman was a world traveler. She had family all over the world, loved to travel. That was just a big part of her life experience and felt so blessed that she could. But she also happened to be one of the people who was at the World Trade Center and witnessed both of the planes that crashed into the buildings. And she said from that day, as much as she really wanted to still go out and visit her family and travel and explore new places, she was so traumatized by what she saw. She said she just couldn't think about getting on a plane. She felt paralyzed for about a year. But what happened is over time she kept thinking about how much she loved being with family, how much she loved exploring new places. And the feeling of being able to do that is what moved her forward to go work with a therapist, to get the feeling of how most of the time she was perfectly safe, that she could feel safe wherever she was. But the thing that drove her over and over again was the feeling of being free of her fear and the power of being able to continue on with her life and to travel and explore and have those wonderful experiences. Again, it came from the feeling of it. So I want to share with you what is one of my favorite stories, my own experiences of how this feeling translated into a magnificent manifestation.